Hello, this is Liz with Crafty Devotion, and today I'm going to just share with you my newest, this was a shoe box. My very first time I have made a box. And what I wanted to do was take a shoe box, something that you might throw away, and turn it into something beautiful. And then my secondary was I wanted to use this image. I've had this image for a while. I made one tag with it and I haven't had time to craft with it. And I have several of them. And I just love the saying that it says. I love the little girl. It says a little kindness can bring a lot of happiness. And I love that message. And I actually love things with children in them. Now, I did learn a lot in this process, so I'm sure that if I do another box, I will actually have it down a little bit better. But I was able to actually finish up my edges. I actually used some of this gimp, like I think this is called like a Chinese braid that I purchased from Vintage Rose Emporium, and it's perfect for finishing off edges on things. You can see how beautiful it looks on there. And that's how I finished off the top of it. Here's the back. The back is basically, I layered a piece. You'll see originally how I started. I layered a piece of a beautiful vintage like doily edge. And then I just placed then the next thing I did is I placed a piece of some dangle lace on it. And I then embellished the front a little. You can see. This is the front of the box, and I decided to put a cameo there. See? And I was trying to take, if you can, there, right there, you can kind of see the front and the side, and you'll see that I was trying to take off the colors, some of the colors of my image. This side is where I did most of the decorating, and I really chose how to do the decorating based on my image because my image is actually a vintage fabric. This fabric it's almost like it was some type of fabric that was sold before, and it has several of these images on it, and the images will like they'll be upside down, right side up, all around it almost looks like a cotton sheet type thing. And then some of them have the words on them and some of it doesn't. And so I kind of wanted to put the image on there first, and then from after I added the image, then I decided where I was going to place things, where I was going to decorate it, because I wanted to, since I couldn't really put a border around the image because the image was so close to the size of this box, so I decided to leave it there and then use the fabric, pieces of the fabric that come out, and leave it there and use that so you can see parts of the fabric here. And over here on this side, there's actually a piece of the fabric of the little girl, again, upside down, and that's why I decided to cover this side. And she's right under a doily. And then I just started layering with finding things that were the right colors that would match. And I found this this lace. I actually carry a lace like this in my Etsy shop, and I made a rose with it. And then I used some of my blings that I have. I don't have these in because when I got them, they basically were all so random that I just been putting them inside my bling D-stashes. And I actually have this beautiful bird right here. I implemented this bird, and I have large pieces like this in my boutique, my Etsy shop, and I have them. I think I have them at $2.50 each, something like that. But it comes on a chain, but I removed the actual chain piece just with some wire cutters, and then I put that bird on there, and I think it just looks beautiful since the image here, she is holding a bird. I was looking for a bird to actually place, and then I have another image here with the bird. Let's see. This is a handmade rose with a piece of lace, not lace, with a piece of organza ribbon. That's what it's made with. And I actually have several of that, and I may put some in my Etsy shop soon. And this image also, I love, love, love this image. It's actually just, if you can see it closely, it's just some birds, and I liked how the peachy pink colors came out. And most of the flowers here are handmade, but not all of them, especially the smaller ones are not handmade. So this is actually a piece of lace that I just made a flower with. Here's a doily that I made a flower with, a piece of doily. This one is actually one that I have that purchased, and this one like this one. And let's see, this blue right here, I will put it inside my grab bags, and I'm going to be making some flower grab bags that I'll be putting in my shop in the future, probably in the new year. And here's an image. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put some colors together that match maybe the birds. I don't know. And here are just some small little flowers that actually are pre-bought flowers that I can purchase at my local shops, and I try to find the ones that I like, and I really liked this color. It really matches well with it. And then this blue here. Let's see. And then I also added some of my my pieces of pearl sprays. I actually carry these in my boutique also, my Etsy shop. And then I decided at the last minute that this would look gorgeous. I have these little charms that say made with love. Let me put that really close so you can read it. It says made with love. And I wanted to figure out how I could implement it. I have another one I think that's a little larger. And over on this side, this is actually a vintage lace that I turned into a rose that I purchased from Donna Little. Donna Little sells a lot of wedding appliques, and then she has some vintage and new laces that she sells, and I turned this one into a beautiful rose, and I thought the colors went well with the hat in the image. And over here, this is another handmade flower that I made with the same ribbon here, but I use my AlaLiz technique. Oh, it looks like I should put something in the center there. I think I will. I missed that. That's okay, we craft like that. And then I just kind of interspersed some of the various things. This piece right here, like there's a little piece of jewelry right there. See the jewelry? What I did is I actually sell in my shop this gorgeous, what's it called? A gorgeous peacock. And that peacock, I sell it like for $2 or $2.50 for the peacock. It's a fairly large peacock. And I wanted to experiment with it. What I did is I broke it apart in pieces, and I thought that it would look cute, sticking out just to embellish in different ways. And here I'm just using some inexpensive like floral type spray beads. And I carry this little bit in my shop of this little spray with some little flowers attached to it. And there's some of the little small flowers all the way around. This is actually a doily, a piece of a doily that I turned into a flower. And I probably need to do a tutorial on those. I've shown you on one of my videos how to do it, but I think I could probably get several out and do an actual tutorial on that. And let me know if you think you'd like a tutorial on how to do these types, because I make it here, and I also have a doily over here. And this is actually a piece of the dangle lace that I put around here. That's the same one, but I just used it to make a flower coming outward, and from the center of the flower I placed this beading as though it is a bit of stamen coming out of the flower, and it can hang over any way you want it to hang. I don't know if you could see that. And then I did the stamen, the same stamen in this flower, because I wanted to add that color. And I thought that I found these beads when I was cleaning up. I said, ooh, those would look pretty there. So actually that would be fine, just hanging right over this flower. So that is what you see here. And here I started implementing a little bit of bead work. I was thinking that I would put more beads, but I think I was overdoing it. So I said I better stop and just finish up to make things look finished. And on this side, I did place a doily down first, and then I kept on layering as though the flowers were spilling out this way and with the bird, because I was covering the image. There's an actual image of this something similar to this one with the feet upside down. So I worked on that. And here I implemented, the first time I've implemented this, I've carried this in my Etsy shop before. Let me show you, maybe you can see it better from here. Comes in two pieces. One of the pieces has the little hole, and the other piece has a ball. And I thought these would be great to use for maybe if you make a purse, or I decided, well, I can use it in this box. So I used it to close the box up. I glued one side here and one side down here. And it was much more white. I actually threw in some coffee and it kind of darkened it a little bit because I wanted it to kind of blend a little more with the coloring. But if you are interested in this type of a piece, I have a few left, and I will probably put them in my Etsy store. But depending on if people purchase them, will I keep them there because, or purchase more? Because I can get more of these, and they may look slightly different every time I go to the warehouse. They look different. Sometimes they're bigger or smaller, and if you really would utilize these, it's knots. And over here, I implemented another item that let me see, underneath all this dangle, I placed these beautiful, this ribbon work. It's like a ribbon applique, and it comes like this they have darker colors, but I like this series of lighter pastelish colors. And I actually have some of these. If you're interested, also let me know, and I'll put them in my shop. I have about a dozen of them, and they come in a long strip, and I sell the whole strip like for a couple of dollars. So if you want me to, I'll put that in. I'm never sure. I haven't put everything that I have in my shop because I have been ill, and I'm crafting. The crafting part and designing I enjoy more, and it also helps me not to think about my pain. So that's what crafting does for me. And here along the bottom, so now it's closed with that little latch, right? So here along the bottom, I did finish it up, and I placed, these are some large gold buttons that I have, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with these buttons, but I thought they would be perfect because I ended up leaving my doily hanging a little bit, so it gives it the bottom. And nothing is perfect because it's my first time, and I hope that I made this for a swap. So I received my box already, so I am actually going to send this off to my swap partner, and I hope she likes it. And if she doesn't, she can give it to, if she doesn't, I think she might like my colors. She did tell me she liked some greens, some sea greens and pastels and stuff, but I really hope she likes this. She wanted to use it for some mail. And then I got my final idea. I had already finished this all up, and I had already glued this all down. And then I got the bright idea that why did I glue it? I should have left it open so that you can stick a little piece of paper or something you treasure in there, a photo. And so what I did is that you can place the photo this way, and I still opened it up. I got a new heat gun, and I used my heat gun to lift it up, and then I just put a ribbon over the glue so that now if she needs to, she can actually place something in the bottom and in the top if she really wants it to stay down like that. Let's see, I don't have any cards around here, but if she can actually place a photo there or something like that, and the box will close, and then when she opens it up, there it will be. So she actually has a little pocket up there, as long as she's careful not to make anything too big. But I liked that idea, so after I got my my things in the mail, I decided, and I actually coated it all with fabric. It's all coated with fabric. I got my shoebox, and I used some chalk paint on it first, and then after that I covered it with a neutral fabric, and it's a cotton type fabric. And then I put it all together, and I learned a lot doing this, so I hope she enjoys it, and hopefully my future ones will actually be a little bit more. And then I finished up the edges inside, because in order to cover this whole box, there's going to have to be some seams. I covered the seams with this like a ribbon that I have. I don't know if I have this ribbon in my boutique, but I might. I think I have enough that I can actually sell it, but I think they sell it just at Michael's or all the craft stores, Joann's and things like that. So you just have to look here. This will give you a close-up of it. I kind of like this because it actually will fold enough so that it hugs the corner. If you can see that, it hugged the corner. So I liked that for that purpose. And it has a little shine to it, and it's like an organza feel to it. So there you go. I will hopefully improve a little more if I make more of these. Or, you know, a lot of times I just ask you if you want a tutorial on what I did. I put tutorials on my list based on, and then I start crafting based on interest and the seasons. And I know that there's a lot of tutorials on how to do a lot of things, but I always come up with my own twists and my own ways that I end up doing it. But I'm learning from so many of the ladies, because I learned that it's best that I use the correct glue on this fabric to keep that on, and I did. Used different glue. I didn't use hot glue on these. I used some of the E6000 on that, and I actually used fabric, like a fabric tack on this one, and then I did fill it in because it's my first time really using it. I did fill it in with a little bit of hot glue, but only in places that seemed like they were loose. So the majority of this is attached with, of this little piece latch is attached with like a fabric tack or E6000 type. And so there you go. I hope you liked my project, and let me give you some close-ups of those beautiful flowers that I put in there. I enjoy making flowers, and I have been using a lot of different flowers, but I think that when I struggle finding the right colors, a lot of people paint, and I actually have a desire to purchase some alcohol inks so I can start coloring some of my flowers, or you know, or my projects, but I just haven't purchased them. And I love using fabrics. I find fabrics of similar